So, you want to learn how to stealthily run through a heist, huh? Well, you're in luck. Back in the day, I was an ace at sneaking and entering. Listen well, and you just might learn something.
Things are cool. Over.
The outcome of battle is decided before it even begins, so make sure you're packing the right gear for the job. The silencer is essential, unless you plan on running around with a knife in hand and taking out guards that way. In case you haven't noticed yet, you have a detection risk displayed in the bottom right of your loadout menu. The concealment of your weapon and armor is shown on the stats bar in the upper right. Make sure you keep this in mind. This value is a gauge of how quickly law enforcement, civilians, and cameras will notice you when you're masked up, and is affected by the value of concealment that your weapons and armor have. The higher the value, the better. As you can see, sneaking around with a detection risk of 3 decreases the range at which a guard can notice you. However, running around with a detection risk of 75 like this guy isn't exactly the best idea. Crouching can help keep you out of sight, however, but the higher your detection risk, the closer the rims will be to the top when it pops up. In the planning phase before the heist, make sure you take a peek at what assets I've set up for you, some of which should prove very beneficial to you, such as extra body bags, having a spotter somewhere on the map, or even access to the camera feed. Some of which may require that you have the right skill to access them, such as Cleaner. Now that we have pre-planning out of the way, let's talk about what you'll be up against when out in the field. There are 3 things to always keep in mind: guards, cameras, and civilians. Of course, for the best results, you're going to want to bring a competent crew with you to watch your back and spot things out you might have missed. Using the spotting function allows you to highlight guards and cameras for a period of time so you can be aware of their positions. Monitoring camera feeds and looking through certain sniper rifle scopes will automatically tag them for you. Guards have infested just about every bank and art gallery in this city, and it's your call whether you want to stealthily navigate your way around them like a badass, or cap them and grab your payday. But remember, if you decide to pick them off one at a time, make sure you know whether guard, civilian, or camera can see him, and that if you do have a body bag, move him. Otherwise, you might tip off some of the other guards to your presence. You also have to keep in mind that the pager operator can only be pulled so many times. 4 to be exact, and no matter how many guards you may find yourself surrounded by, you and your team can only answer a total of 1, 2, 3, that's 4 pages collectively. That means 4 in total. Answering a 5th pager, regardless of who answers it, won't convince the operator and he'll trip the alarm.
The trucks are on the move. Someone saw you. Okay, time for another plan.
Let's go to plan B.
Cameras are just about as worse as guards. They may be stationary, but management seems to know the exact locations where they would be the most inconvenient for us. Breaking a camera will alarm any guard or civilian that can see it. Breaking a camera can also sometimes distract the guard. Use this to your advantage and take him out when it's isolated. In some heists, where breaking cameras just isn't an option, you can always look around for the camera room. Getting in there and taking out the guard inside will disable the camera alarm and give you access to the feed. Also, as a side note, you may encounter these things. They're called Titan cameras, and they can't be broken. However, the skills Camera Loop in the Ghost skill tree will allow you to loop the camera's feed by interacting with it, which can open a path for you, or cover your movements.
Get down! Down on the ground. And stay down!
Good thinking. Sometimes taking a hostage is the only answer.
Lastly, you will want to take care of the civilians. Hope you don't feel bad about it or anything. They're ripped off on a daily basis by these places anyway, trust me, we're doing them a favor. Anyway, be sure to shout them down and keep them intimidated, otherwise they'll start getting ideas about phoning us in.
There's a robbery in progress here.
Damn it, that's the alarm. Stay frosty.
Not
Ready.
good. Make sure that you always have zip ties on hand so that you can tie civilians down, allowing you to move and hide them. Alleys or around corners are excellent spots to move into, out of sight, out of the ever-watchful eye of the law. Additionally, if you tend to find yourself low on ties, be sure to invest in the mastermind skill of Killing God. As a side note, if you accidentally or otherwise are to kill a civilian, you'll be tabbed for the cleanup costs. If you're out of ties, you might have to off some people and use a body bag to move them. Remember, you only get one body bag unless you can somehow replenish them with a body bag asset or have the skill Cleaner. Before I send you off, I want to make sure you understand the tools of the trade. The ECM will be your best friend out there. Placing one down blocks camera feeds and prevents civilians from calling the police for a short amount of time. If you invest in the Ghost Skill tree, you'll be able to carry 2 at a time, block pager answers, and even open locked security doors. These babies are useful if you decide to take over a bank as well. Just make sure that you get your business done before your ECM runs dry. If you find out that your ECM is about to run out, make sure that you ECM chain, which is essentially when you place 2 ECMs down right after the other one. Also, keep a lookout for GenSec key codes. They can pop open security doors just like an ECM and can generally be found on bank managers, around the map, workers, or even with guards. Remember to watch each other's backs out there. If things go to shit, you'll have to fight for your cash. Coordination, cooperation, and communication are key here, gentlemen. And don't worry, I'll keep you guys up to date with intel and mission objectives so you won't have to do all the thinking. Nice, easy, and simple. Now, I don't know about you boys, but I think it's time for payday.